things I liked was chapter 31, how to have a terrific day every day. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Certainly. Now, when I'm giving a public talk, I always ask everyone, hey guys, how would you like to have a terrific day every day? And everybody raises their hands. Who doesn't want to have a terrific day every day? Everybody does. And I tell them it's really very simple to have a terrific day every day. And I'm going to share it with you, and I'm going to share it with the audience right now. The way to have a terrific day every day is to get up in the morning, collect yourself, pause for a moment, and decide that you are going to have a terrific day. It's as simple as that. Now, if it's as simple as that, why don't people have a terrific day every day? That's because they confuse two things which they want with having a terrific day. These two things don't have anything to do with your having a terrific day, but you mistakenly believe that they do, and that's why you don't have a terrific day. What are these things that you believe are necessary for you to have a terrific day? You believe that in order for you to have a terrific day, number one, things should happen that you want to have happen. And number two, things should not happen that you don't want to have happen. Okay? So you get up in the morning and you say, I'm going to have a terrific day. And you get into your car and you pull out, and somebody honks you and then speeds and side swipes you and goes past. And you've got a brand new Tesla, and all of a sudden there's a deep gash running all along the side of the Tesla, and the rearview mirror is broken off and is dangling down there. And the person went by so fast that you couldn't get the license plate number, and it didn't stop, it just vanished. And here you are, and you're proud of your Tesla, and you're annoyed, and you're angry, and so now think about it. What you've just done is you allowed this occurrence to steal your terrific day from you. Okay? Now, I understand you got a new Tesla and now it's broken. So, you have to take it back to the shop and get it repaired, and you'll be out some money, get, maybe your deductible or more. And there's the hassle of dealing with the insurance and there. So, it's going to take time and effort and money. Yes, that's going to happen. But why should you allow this to steal your terrific day from you? You allow it to steal your terrific day from you because you have never thought about it, that this is what is happening. And you never took the decision, hey, look, I'm not going to let this affect me. If you're smart, you'll recognize that I've decided to have a terrific day. And the universe being what it is, there will be feces falling from the sky. So because I'm smart, I'm going to plan for it in advance and say, this is going to be a terrific day. Feces is going to fall from the sky. And I am going to have to spend a couple of hours of my terrific day cleaning up the feces that's going to fall from the sky. And I'm going to have a terrific time while I'm doing it. And if you budget for that in advance and recognize that that is the nature of life and stuff will happen that you'd much rather not happen, but hey, that's life. I can't control it, and I'm not going to let this unfortunate occurrence steal it. So going back to the example with the car, we'll take it for granted that there's an inconsiderate jerk who is driving that other car which slammed into you, and he caused the damage and went on. If you get all upset and so on, you're allowing this inconsiderate jerk to steal your terrific day from you. What a stupid thing to do. Why would you do that? The only reason you do that is because you haven't thought about it and you haven't recognized that this is what you're doing. So I understand, okay, this is a stupid jerk and I can't be responsible for his actions, and he's going to do what he's doing, and I'm going to protect myself from the adverse consequences as best as I can, but I'm not going to let him steal my terrific day. And then all of a sudden you'll find that shit happens, but you don't have to get upset and riled up and so on. You're going out there having a perfectly wonderful time, and in your wonderful time, you're having to spend some time cleaning up the feces that comes. It's not that difficult if you give thought to it in advance and recognize that you're allowing a lot of things and a lot of jerks steal your peace of mind, and you determine, I'm not going to do that. Then you'll find that every day is great. Can I give you an example?
Please.
Okay. So what happens is I've taught at many of the world's top business schools, Alan, and my course was among the most popular and highest rated at those schools. I've taught at Columbia Business School, at London Business School, at Kellogg, at Berkeley, at Imperial College. And as you can imagine, when you teach at top business schools, students who go off and they get jobs, and many of them got jobs in the financial industry, investment banking, venture capital, private equity. These are not warm, fuzzy places. So I can't even begin to tell you how many examples and tales I've heard about nasty, toxic bosses. Somehow or other, the financial world is full of nasty, toxic bosses. So I remember one girl who was saying, Professor Rao, it's all very well for you to say what you do, but you don't know my boss. And her boss was, he was a hedge fund zillionaire, and he was not very tall, medium height, slightly portly, and totally unrestrained in his behavior. So when he got mad at someone, he'd pull himself up to his full height. He'd, thrust his face into the face of the person he was mad at, and his face would get red, and he'd start shouting and use profane language, and bits of bits of spit would fly out and fall wherever they did. Say, Professor Rao, you don't know what I faced, and I can't wait for my bonus to clear, because the moment my bonus check is cleared, I'm resigning out of there. And so I told her, listen, it's fine. If that's what you want to do, you can. But you've got a significant amount of time and effort invested in this company, and do you really want to walk away from all of that? She said, what's the alternative? Like, I won't put up with this, crap anymore. So I told her a story. I told her that when her boss was having an episode like that and shouting, he's just a kid throwing a tantrum. She was completely unconvinced. So I told her a story. When my kids were younger, we went to Disney World and we were waiting in line for an attraction. And there was a kid in line who must have been 7, 8 years old. And he was bothering all the others in the line. He had sticky fingers, and he'd go out and touch them with sticky fingers. So they didn't like being touched by sticky fingers. And they'd look at the father accusingly, and he'd be embarrassed. So he'd grab the child and hold him tight. But when he grabbed the child and held him tight, the child would start crying loudly. So I let him go, and then he'd go start touching people with sticky fingers. Just an uncomfortable situation. Then all of a sudden his mother appeared, and with this wonderful intuition that mothers have, she said, she looked behind his behavior and said, he's hungry, and she produced food. And in less than 10 minutes, there was a wonderful transformation in this child from being a pain in the ass and everybody else's asses. He was the joy of the client, laughing with everyone, kidding around, and everybody enjoyed seeing him. Remarkable transformation happened in less than 10 minutes. So I told the story, my student who looked at it could understand what it's about. And then a few days later, she did something which irritated the boss, and he did what he did. He thrust his face into her and stood up to his full height and started shouting, and bits of spit started flying. And all of a sudden, what I said popped into her mind, and it was so apropos that this was a kid having a tantrum that she couldn't help herself. She just laughed. And it was as if she had slapped him in the face. What did you do? She doesn't remember what she said, but she does remember that in that instant there was a transformation in her head. And he went from being an ogre to just an overgrown kid. And the moment there was a transformation in her head, there was also a change in the relationship. And he continued behaving exactly as he had with the others, but he didn't ever shout at her again. 6 months later, she got another job or something and moved out, and the affair fell away. So the point I'm trying to make, Alan, is that when there is a change between your ears, that change reflects itself in the outside world very, very, very fast.